30 years ago, Bob and Kurt didn't ask permission to go into the acoustic business. So same rules applied with the electric guitar. We had a pickup. This was on one of those crazy T5s with a Bigsby, and I don't know, it had like some crazy headstock on it. It was just, it's one of the ones you walk through the shop and you go, what's that? You know, what were they thinking? But it was where we tested the pickup. So this pickup has a really interesting construction. It's got 3 bar magnets that are forcing like fields together. North faces north, south faces south. Again, the magnetic heretics, right again. We're doing stuff you're not supposed to do, and we're making this crazy, almost light bulb shaped flux field, and then we put a little tiny coil in it, and we found our sound. It was the sweet tone. And so this was actually what green lighted the whole project. So like the body on that T5 gave Bob the inspiration to green light that, the pickup green lighted the Solidbody guitar line. So with the pickup started, then all of a sudden it was this dilemma. Well, you can't just start bolting parts on a guitar and call it a Taylor, right? I mean, we have our own bridge, we have our own neck joint, we have all the things, the signature innovation and technology that make Taylor acoustics. We couldn't just go out and buy a Tune-o-matic or a Strat bridge or something and start assembling a guitar and call it a Taylor. And with much respect for those people that do that, there's a difference between guitar assemblers and guitar makers. And at Taylor, we're guitar makers. So we started down this path of, okay, what can we do? What can we bring to the electric guitar world? Because we're all electric players. You know, I have a couple Gretches, a couple custom shop Strats, some Tom Anderson guitars. We love electric guitars. But what can we do to add to that world? And started with the bridge. And I'm gonna talk about this for a second, and I'm going to pass it around so everybody can play with it. So once the pickup was done, then we started messing with the bridge. And the interesting thing with this is because of our tooling department, we can make our own parts in-house. We can start milling these out of aluminum billets. And we discovered that all this magic that aluminum could bring to the party, especially on an electric guitar. Add to that we decided we didn't want any visible screws. Bob said, I want us to feel like a beautiful watch band and a high-end watch band. So nothing to poke your hand or scratch your hand if you rest your hand on it. At the same time, David Hossler, who's a lifelong repairman, said, you know what, and I want to solve intonation drift. Have you ever restrung your electric guitar and the saddles move and now your intonation's out? Right? When you take the strings off, because most of them are spring-loaded, they can move a little bit. If they don't go back in the right place, your guitar's out of tune. So we wanted to solve intonation drift. We wanted to solve the whole thing of when you move and gig and go with it, anything could move on the guitar. So built into this bridge it's a completely adjustable tailpiece and bridge, but you can completely lock down all the saddles so you don't ever have intonation drift when you restring or you travel with a gig bag or a case. The other thing that we did was, which is something that just like the playability of all of our acoustics, we built in custom break angles for the strings as they come over the saddle here, and the amount of string behind the break angle. So the string length is all calculated. That's so when you play an electric guitar, all the strings feel like they're in harmony with each other as far as string tension from string to string to string. That's all kind of behind the scenes with this. And lastly, we decided to couple the top of the guitar. Instead of just driving a couple bolts in and having the bridge held on that way, we actually sandwiched the top with the bridge. And so part of it is behind the guitar, part of it comes from the top. Whole assembly sandwiches together and couples the top and really gets the whole thing moving. So I'm going to pass that around. The way that shows up in the world is we get, you know when you pick up an electric guitar, and most people do this, you play it on your lap, and if it's live, then you go, this one feels pretty good, it rings pretty good, I'm going to go plug it in. We wanted that experience with every electric. And that's what a combination of the aluminum and the sandwich style construction does. So, new pickups, new bridge. We used, again, the T-lock neck joint, the single bolt to hold the neck in. It's got the puzzle shape and everything. perfect every time. Then it got into the body construction. So we wanted to do a couple different things. One, a classic design. That's how it got its name. It's a solid body classic because it's a piece of swamp ash milled into a great shape with a pickguard mounted controls. But on the standard, which uses the full-size form factor humbuckers, or a custom, like the Walnut or the Koa over here, they have a specially designed top that's inset in the body. So the top is actually, the body's routed, and then the whole top is inset in the body. This allows us to use exotic woods, but also and not have to carve away, again, 3/4 of it to get the contour. But we also can get a purfling line and body contours. So for your forearm, it's not digging into your arm, but you also have the look of a bound line. Kind of a cool hybrid design. So that's on the standard and the custom, you get the inset tops. So with that, we kind of went, all right, now we're going to move forward and let's dress them out. So we have 3 models, a classic, a standard, and a custom. And electronically and bridge-wise, they all share the same heritage. It's all the same, the parts there. It's just really how you want it styled out and what kind of wood you want. So that's the gist of that. I was going to kind of show you, though, how the guitars have a personality all of their own.